The pale blue sensing blocks and green operation blocks are best explained using the if-then loop. Now you notice most of the sensing blocks are a slightly funny shape with the diamond pointed ends. Now these blocks can't exist on their own. They don't do anything. They can't plug into a stack or anything like that. Instead, they serve to add and supplement other blocks. So you notice the if-then loop has a hole in it for a condition to be put in or an input. So the sensing blocks include things like touching mouse pointer, touching the edge, touching the sprite or the other apple. These blocks can click in. So if I hover it over, it goes white. So I can click in and obviously the size automatically adjusts. So now my if then loop reads, if touching mouse pointer, then something happens. Similarly, I could change that so I could have the sprite, if it's touching a color, it will do something, whatever's in the loop. Or I could have it responding to a key press. So if key spacebar is pressed or any of these buttons, then a condition is met. So these are adding to the sentence and adding to the understanding of the computer of what to do. Some of them in the sensing blocks as well, you'll notice, are slightly more circular ended. These, such as distance to, these don't drop in automatically. These are used elsewhere for combining with other blocks to make more complicated instructions. So for now, with the sensing blocks, just think of them as a way of completing your if-then loop. So anytime you see a hole that looks that shaped, the moment this loop doesn't work, you think about putting a sensing block in so you can define the conditions. You can start getting a little bit more complicated with some really advanced settings and senses, but the most generally used ones are touching something, so a mouse pointer, another sprite, touching a color, so it's interacting with a background or a condition, such as another sprite being a certain color in a game, and the key press one, because that gives you that if the key press is pressed, something happens underneath it. Those are the sensing blocks, and the operation blocks behave very similarly. They are unique in the shape that they are, and they are a bit more of an advanced feature, but they open up Scratch to some really complicated and advanced programming options.